losers so far from week 4?
So I have two biggest winners. The first biggest winner is self-explanatory. Everybody probably knows where I'm going, but the Bills.
Okay.
The Bills, not only are they 4-0, leading the division, leading the NFL, the way that they're doing it is pretty dominant. I mean, they have not scored under 30 points once this season, and they got a 40 ball up on the Baltimore Ravens. So they are my biggest winners. My second biggest winner is Coach Dobbs over there in New York because he played Jackson Dart and it turned out to work. They got their first win of the season, and now it looks like they're going to ride that high on Jackson Dart. Now it wasn't the prettiest, like he didn't go out there and throw
It,
for
yeah, it
250
wasn't
yards,
amazing.
but the fact that in football it's all about winning, right? So if you could just get the win somehow, some way, no matter how ugly it is, it's a morale booster. And unfortunately, Russell Wilson had three cracks at it and he didn't get it done. So I got Dart as a winner, big time.
So with, Dart and the Giants, let's lean a little more towards that. Um, could he be the next superstar? I mean, he showed a lot of promise. Like he has the swagger. I mean, you saw him, in interviews. Who's your celebrity crush? Madison Beer, Justin Herbert's girlfriend, and he posted a photo of her before the game, deleted it. Like he's kind of got that crazy sicko mindset that you kind of need in your superstar quarterback, and then showing nothing but confidence in the pocket, look good, look poised. I mean, the first drive of the game against a really good Chargers defense, 89-yard drive, rushing touchdown, and passing touchdown. The offense looked good. I don't know. Jackson Dart, I thought Shador was going to be better than him. We see what's happening with Shador. So, uh, what's your thoughts on Dart? Like, you think he could be that guy in New York?
I do think he could be that guy. I'm not gonna overspeak too soon. Other teams are going to now game prep for him and his abilities. So once they put the quarterback spy on him, we'll see how he reacts to that. But I think he can reach that next level. I mean, he's working with the right coach. You got, Josh Allen pretty much on board there. So see, I'm super excited to see what he does these next few games and see if he can kind of carry over some of this swag that you're referring to.
And no Malik Neighbors, that's tough. If you have neighbors, that's just tough. But I think Wandale Robinson, Theo Johnson, he has some weapons. Kim and Scatterboo, man. That's a nice duo.
Dangerous. Dangerous. I was just gonna say, like, I know Neighbors is like a really big loss. He is one of our best receivers in the NFL. But I think that not having the pressure that I have to get this guy targets or he's gonna go to the media or is you know what I'm saying? Not having
Yeah,
that pressure, I gotta throw the ball to this guy. It honestly could potentially help Jackson Dart out a little bit. You
right.
go over there, look at like a Josh Allen who doesn't have any dominant wide receiver ones and he don't got nobody over there complaining about targets. Like Buffalo is one of the only teams that you look at and you'll say, I don't know who's going to lead this team in receiving this game, right? You other teams, you don't say that. You say, okay, I know Zay Flowers is going to lead. So maybe it could potentially help him out a little bit that he doesn't have to just keep throwing the ball in this guy's direction or he's going to get pissed off.
That's a good point. And I mean, if you're, tapped in with fantasy and all that, you're playing fantasy football. Wandale Robinson, Theo Johnson, those are guys that target share could go up and could, be huge performers. But I think, yeah, Scatterboo out the backfield, he's been phenomenal. Jackson Dart, you see the energy. You see this team get a lot of momentum now with him at quarterback. And I honestly wanted him to sit the whole season just to learn behind Russ, but we saw how the first couple games look. So you had to make this move. So it's nice that they got the win in their first game against a really good defense in the Chargers. So that's a good winner. One of my winners. I think the Eagles are a winner, but they're kind of really 50-50 because they won. But the media, AJ Brown, all the talk that's surrounding this team. The thing is, though, they're still winning regardless of everything.
Yeah, they're still winning. It is not the prettiest, and I damn near feel like they're getting lucky like every week. Like they give me like the Warriors from 2016 vibes, and they give me the Chiefs from, their couple championship runs, how like everything always goes their way. Every
Everything.
ball goes their way. Every call goes their way. But I really think that eventually their time will run out, and I think it will run out this season because I don't think you can win a Super Bowl like that. You can win some regular season games, but I don't think you're gonna win every playoff game like that. But man, they took out the Bucks, and I had the Bucks winning that game. The Bucks
Me
are
too.
dope. I was super surprised. And maybe it goes a little bit different if Baker doesn't throw that interception at the end of the game. We'll never know. But man, the Eagles they figured out they win every time. So props to
That's
them.
yeah, they keep winning and they beat the Bucks, they beat the Rams, and this is just a team that's just tough to beat. They always come out on top. They good coaching staff. Jalen Hurts, I mean, it's never pretty, never putting up the great numbers, but it's always, he's always coming out top, always winning the game. How concerned though are you with the AJ Brown situation? Him, not being happy, him posting a lot of what is it, shit on social media.
I'm super concerned. Um, One, because I got the dude on my fantasy team and drafted him in the third round, so that pisses me off. But on a serious note, I'm concerned because the camaraderie in that locker room, it looks like it could be shaken up a little bit. For a guy to go to social media basically saying like, I'm not wanted, that can't feel good for him. And even though they're winning, he's not getting, you know, targets. And somebody will say, okay, well, he had 9 targets last game, he just had 2 catches. But man, those passes were all out of bounds and all over the place. Nothing,
Throwaways and
no,
shit.
no, no ball thrown to him was catchable. He just wants to be a part of winning. He don't want to be out there like blocking all game and just running full speed routes and not even getting looked at. So I mean, I feel his frustration, but hey, can't complain when you're winning. So when they lose one of these games, then it probably uh all
Heats
hell
up,
a break.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they're due for a loss at some point. They're not gonna go undefeated this year. They just make too many mistakes within the game. Uh, but AJ Brown potentially some trade destinations for him if this thing heats up. I mean, I would like to see him with the Patriots with Drake May over there, Mike Vrabel. Um, Imagine him, Stephon Diggs in that receiver room.
I could see him going to like the Colts. Uh,
Colts would be nice. The
that
Steelers,
the Steelers would be nice being on the other side of DK. Maybe even like Jacksonville would be pretty nice. But if I'm the Eagles, I'm definitely sending them to the AFC. So I would
yeah.
send them to teams anyway. So
I mean, you'd think Baltimore with all the shit they got going. I mean, could they make a trade for that? I mean, just try to make it as crazy as the offense as
I
possible.
don't, I don't know if I'm the Eagles, I would send him to Lamar Jackson because that would just like him and Zay Flowers on each side. Plus, you got D Hop for red zone targets. I don't think that would be smart for them, but it would be great for football.
You damn sure aren't sending him to the Chiefs, the team that needs a receiver the
No,
worst, the best, the worst. Uh, but I know I think AJ Brown's a phenomenal player. I mean, at least because I think the Eagles are thinking they could get away with this shit because his ass reading books on the side. He ain't walking out of the game early and shit like some of these other receivers. So, but I think this Eagles team still within it all are still winning, and that's a good sign that they could overcome a lot of adversity. So the two other winners I had though the Falcons and the Patriots. Now the Falcons got clapped last week, 30 to nothing. But this week, Michael Penix Jr. 300 yards passing, a Kyle Pitts game, 70 yards receiving and a touchdown. Bijan went crazy. Drake London went crazy. Michael Penix, he bounced back in this game, had a really good performance. The offense looks strong. So I'm really hyped about a Falcons, playoff run for them. I think they have the talent to do it. The Patriots, I think this is a team that can make the playoffs as well. Drake May, this defense looks good. I think they have like the highest pressure win rate or whatever. Milton Williams has been a great addition up front. Harold Landry, this defense is playing well, and Drake May and this offense is finally finding their groove. Stephon Diggs finally had a big game after all the shit he's been doing on the side. So
I'm curious to just see like what's the hold up on Travion Henderson. You drafted
I
this
know
guy
I'm
in the
waiting.
second round. You drafted him in the second round. I mean, you took him pretty high, and I get that Ramondre Stevenson is there, but I think you got to give him some type of more touches, more targets, whether it's in the pass game or run game. Like let him play a little bit.
Yeah. Easy touches early too. Like you just give him the ball whatever you can. Because Ramondre Stevenson's been fumbling. Antonio Gibson's just a return guy now, so Henderson should be getting a bulk of his carries. I'm waiting for
Absolutely.
that like Genty game from him because I think he's capable of it.
Yeah, I mean, he's super capable of it, but Gentry's getting 17 or 20 handoffs and Henderson's getting like 4. So it's like, unless he
Yeah.
breaks 1 or his 4 off, he's probably not. So I'm hoping that throughout the season, maybe they give him a few more opportunities, see what he can do.
He was slated to be like a league winner and shit this year, but
Yeah.
let's move on to losers. So far, who are your biggest losers? What's two biggest losers you got?
I got 2, and the first one I'm not gonna get too much into because they just are that bad of losers in the Bengals. They're cooked, and I feel bad for them because they paid the defense, they paid the offense, they did their best this offseason. Burrow's out, and they look bad on both sides of the ball. Like we always knew that their defense was not the best and they kind of hung their hat on the offensive end of the ball, but now that Burrow's out, they can't even do that. They can't run the ball, can't pass the ball. Um, they don't even get field goals. So it's like are
They
my
can't do
ab-
shit right.
yeah, they are my absolute biggest losers, and the Titans are still out there and shit. So, but give me the Bengals sucking more than them right now. Um, my other biggest loser for this week, and it hurts me to say this because the Ravens are my favorite team outside of the Bears. And I hated to see Lamar go out the way that he did. And I'm hoping and praying that the little hamstring injury he has is super minor. And maybe they just was like, hey, man, let's just sit this one out. It's not looking too good. But we'll see what Lamar can do if and when he comes back from his little hamstring injury.
And it's tough for the Ravens because they're for sure like Marlon Humphrey is out for a couple weeks now. Um, Matabuke, their best pass rusher up the middle in the interior, the defensive tackle, he's out for the season with a neck injury. He might be cooked for his career too. Prayers out to him. Uh, this season's just looking like a 49er season where everything goes wrong, everybody gets hurt. Lamar's hurt too now. So I don't know how their chances are now. Starting 1-3, I think they still can win their division, but in terms of playoffs, in terms of competing with these other teams, their defense was already ass. This is like a really bad defense right now. Um, I don't know what your chances. What do you think their chances are to compete with Buffalo and Kansas City in the playoffs now with how things are looking?
Well, I'm super high on Lamar Jackson, and I think if he's healthy, I'm always going to pick him to win. I'm never going to pick against him if he's healthy. So I still think that they do have a good chance of making the playoffs. Hey, they're 1-3. Their division is kind of falling apart. The
Yeah.
Steelers are, we'll see what they do. They haven't really played anybody yet, seriously. So we'll see what they can do when they start playing, better teams. But I'll give the Ravens a 48% chance of making the playoffs.
Okay.
And we'll see after next week. And then, if Lamar's out for more than a week, then I don't see them making the playoffs at all. But if he can play next week, then I think they'll still make it.
Yeah, it's really tough how it's looking. And I mean, if any year Lamar had some real good excuses for coming up short, it's this year. But that,
Man, I mean, the defense, dude, they're giving up 30, 40 points every time they step on the field. They're supposed to be one of the best defenses in the NFL with that
roster construction
secondary and
wise, yeah.
uh,
Jair Alexander, he really hasn't played that much. So yeah, it's looking pretty bad. Uh John Harbaugh, Lamar, I mean, with Lamar being 1-6 now against Mahomes before he got hurt, it looked pretty bad. How concerned are you about that? With Lamar, another yet stinker against the Chiefs.
I'm not too concerned about it only because it's the regular season. Now if it's
Yeah.
the playoffs, if yesterday or on Sunday was the playoffs and they played and that is what happened, I would be concerned. But it's the regular season. You got hiccups throughout the year, so we'll see what happens in the playoffs when they match up if the Ravens can make it because the Chiefs are starting to look good. So we'll see if the Ravens can make it.
On the flip side of that, do you think this Chiefs team is that same team that can win the Super Bowl, or are you betting against them to not come out the AFC after that last performance?
I probably would bet against them to come out in the AFC, but this Chiefs team is serious, and we'll see what they look like when Rice is back.
Okay.
Because with Worthy in the lineup, Mahomes just looks different with Worthy in the lineup. So
Worthy look good.
he looks great, and I can't imagine what he's going to look like when Rice is back. he'll have his wide receiver one back, and I honestly think when Rice comes back, I think Kelsey will be even better then too because right now you're shadowing him, you're putting a second guy in the middle of the field trying to hold Kelsey down a little bit, but when you got Rice and Worthy on opposite sides, and maybe Hollywood in the slot. Um, you got to play one on one, and you can't send two at the tight end anymore. So we'll see what happens there.
Some people thought the NFC North was going to be the worst division in football this season. They thought it was going to be as bad as the NFC South.